Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hi, welcome to the Persistence Payoff Show. We're here on USA Global TV and Radio. I'm your host, Kimberly SCHAFER. In this show, we share stories that show that persistence is not just a trait, it's a superpower. I'm the inventor of the Ring Thing, which is a waterproof padded ring holder, and I'm a first-time inventor and entrepreneur. So I'm on my own daily journey with persistence, and I love having conversations with other people sharing their stories. Our guest today has a wonderful story of passion and persistence to share. Joselyn Martinez is the founder of Balanced Financial Solutions, which is a bookkeeping and financial management firm dedicated to helping small business owners understand their numbers. She's known as the Empowerment Accountant, and her mission is to empower women in business and to change the way that entrepreneurs view their finances. I'm very excited to talk with her and hear about her journey. So please welcome Joselyn Martinez.
Hi, Kimberly. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, thank you. I'm so excited to have you here and to hear about your story and everything that you're doing and also your journey to getting there. So you founded Balanced Financial Solutions. So I wonder if you can tell us about your journey into accounting. How did that start? Was that your lifelong goal, or is that something that evolved over time as your life progressed?
Yeah, it's an interesting story. I way back when I was in high school, I actually wanted to be a teacher. That was my first goal in life. As I was in high school, I took a couple of accounting classes, absolutely loved my teacher in accounting, and said, this is what I'm going to do. I really, really love it. And so it took me a long way to get to Balanced Financial Solutions, but I started my career in corporate accounting. It was with a small business. And in the meantime, while I was in my career, starting my career, I also had my first child. So I had my children really, really young. By the time I was 20, I had two. And so I was working full time, mothering, being a wife, and also going to school because I absolutely loved what I was doing and I was determined to make it.
Wow. That's, you talk about a journey of persistence. I think that having a family, being in school, and learning accounting is really something. So kudos to you for doing that. So when you look back at that time, what was it in you that drove that persistence? What was the sort of the fire behind your focus?
It's almost twofold. One is to provide a better life for my children. I am Latina and a first-generation college student. And so I wanted to provide a better life for them. So they, first and foremost, were my drive and my reason for my persistence to get my degree and to continue in accounting. As difficult as it was, it got harder. I did end up having another child, so I had three. And I went through my master's, all the way through my master's degree. So I had a village around me to support me and help me along the way. But that's was my primary goal. Secondary was to make my mom proud. She really wanted me to be successful, and I wanted to show her that I could do it, that I could be a mom, a wife, and still go and have a career.
Yes. Wow, that is so impressive. And so now you're known as the empowerment accountant, but it also sounds to me like even from a very young age, you had that sense of empowerment in you that I can do this, and you had that vision. So
Yeah, it definitely was the drive to be successful. Now, I didn't know that I would have my own business as I do now, but I knew that I was going to be successful no matter which road or path I would go in. And I wanted to show my children that I could do it, that they could do it too.
yes, absolutely. So in the beginning, you mentioned that you worked in corporate accounting, and how did you transition from working for someone else to founding your own business? What was that process?
I had I worked for an amazing company. I had an amazing boss. I had amazing coworkers. It wasn't that, it was just that we grew to the point where we became a corporate company. It was a small business when we first started. I was learning all about accounting. I loved it. But with success, comes growth, and they grew to the point where they became a public company. And so in that, it changed, right? From private accounting to public accounting. That change, I felt like I'm no longer serving the way that I was. I wanted to serve a small business. I wanted to be able to see the change. I wanted to be able to build somebody's confidence and empower someone else. I also realized that in my field, in my industry, there aren't very many people that look like me at the top. So I was surrounded by a lot of men in boardrooms, and I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to show other women we can all be at the top.
Yes. And you are, kudos to you for that.
Thank you.
That is really something. And one of the things that I find so fascinating about your story is that, typically we might look at accounting and bookkeeping as pretty dry topics, right? This is just numbers, keeping your spreadsheets up to date and your finances, and it can be pretty dry, but you actually, to me, you've added a component of life and power to that, where of course managing the numbers is an important part of it, and bookkeeping and financial management, but there's another component, which is to give confidence to your clients. And I would love to hear about if there are, one or two examples that you can give of people that you've worked with where you've seen that change, or maybe they came to you for the more dry part of, can you just help me with my bookkeeping, to them understanding more about how empowered they are.
Yes, of course. I have several clients that have come to me in both manners. I have a client in particular that came to me who was feeling very unfulfilled. She was feeling very, I don't understand what I'm doing, even though I have a firm that I work with. They don't make me feel confident. They make me feel like I don't know what I'm doing. And so my work with her has been, I am doing the accounting work, but I'm also teaching you. I'm also educating. Education is a big part of what I do. It's not just transactional. I want you to understand what you're looking at so that you feel confident and you can grow your business the way that you want to. So this client, within the first year that she was with me, she had written to me at some point in January, and she was like, I have never felt more confident and more empowered in my books to be able to look and give a tax accountant my books and feel like I understand what's happening, and to be able to answer those questions. I have never felt so good about it. So that, to me, that was check. I did what I was supposed to do. And I know that I gave her the confidence beyond just bookkeeping and finances. Yes. I also have another client that I helped to look further. Like sometimes we as women, especially, go into business and we don't dream big enough. We don't believe in ourselves enough to know that we can grow our business to the way everyone else does as well, to the way we see on social media or what we see on TV. So I have a client and I am helping her look at things on a higher level, look at higher level accounting services so that you can grow your business the way you are, the way you want to.
Yes. Wow. That's so inspiring to hear that. And it must be so satisfying to you to see that growth in people, and to know that you're making that kind of, as you were talking in my mind, I was envisioning someone just kind of lighting up, as they come to understand those things, and you helping and being the spark for that, for them to just have that.
I totally agree with you in that. That's how I envision it happening to them. And it's no longer keeping them up at night. If it's keeping you up at night, it's because you're dreaming for bigger things, not because you're worrying about your finances or that you don't understand them. It's more like, now I know the direction my business is going, and now I'm excited and I can't stop.
Yes, absolutely. My gosh. Well, do you, as you're doing this, is this something that you see growing? Like, do you anticipate taking on partners and growing balanced financial solutions?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's interesting because this Friday we'll be in business 9 years. And for the better part of 9 years, it's just been me. And I feel like that is something special where clients have access to me and they hear from me and things of that nature. But I also envision it as such as I give that empowerment to other women, growing it to higher levels and becoming in partnerships and having employees and things of that nature. I also have dreams myself. So a lot of the times us female business owners don't understand that they're not alone, that I have the same worries and concerns that they have, but together we can do it.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I totally agree with you on that. And are you seeing any changes in the landscape? Are you seeing more people in accounting who do look like you? Are you seeing any progress in that front?
I definitely see more that look like me in the small business arena. And I see more that look like me in breaking those glass ceilings. So you are who you surround yourself with. And so I've made it a purpose of mine to surround myself with women that are where I want to be and even further. So I definitely see more of myself there.
Yes. Well, and I noticed on your website that not only do you have your business, but you also are a teacher, that you're an instructor. And can you talk with us about what that is, what you're doing, and what are you teaching, and what is that experience like for you?
I absolutely love teaching. It's in my nature. And I have the passion and the compassion, the patience for teaching. And so many years ago, when I finished my master's degree, I had asked my professor, how can I give back? And he said, get your career and come back and teach. And so I said, absolutely. So I went back to where I graduated from, and I teach cost accounting, financial accounting, forensic accounting. It also keeps me in places where I no longer deal with. So cost accounting, I don't deal with as much in my private practice, but it keeps me fresh on those. And I love helping students come in. I work with a lot of students who were me, where I was, who have, full-time jobs and have families and children and are married and are trying to make it work. So it's nice to be able to relate to them and for them to see that there was someone that was doing it with all of these pressures and all of these responsibilities and still made it at the end.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, it's so important to have those role models in front of us, to show that it's possible. And you may not have had that, but you're doing that for other people. And I think that's so powerful. And I'm curious to know, when you're working with business owners and even your students, and you are working with people to help them realize their dreams and to even understand that their dreams are possible, do you notice qualities in those people about their own persistence? Like, because on their part, it's going to take persistence to make their dreams come true. And so do you notice any commonalities in the people who do succeed in terms of their persistence and their vision?
I definitely see a commonality, and I believe that is they have a clear understanding of what their why is, why they're doing this, and they also have purpose. So such as my why with my children, and to be able for my mom to see that I could be successful despite the fact that a lot of my decisions may have been in statistics to begin with. And I find that a lot in my students, and I find that a lot in the clients that I help. They have a why, they have a reason why they're doing this. And that helps them to continue and be persistent, even in the most difficult of times, such as today's economy landscape. It's difficult to navigate through these, especially when you're the little fish in a really big sea. And so having that why and that purpose helps you continue to hang on, even when it becomes really difficult.
Yes. Yes. I totally agree with you. And I'm curious to know, so you went back to school and got your master's degree. Are you considering any further education, like going and getting your PhD?
I have, funny enough, I have, Kimberly. I just, I love to learn, as I said before. So I have considered going back and getting my PhD, especially after all the knowledge and all the experience that I've been through. So it's on my list.
Yes. Yes. Well, you have a full plate, so I realize that that's.
I don't know life in any other way.
Yes. Yeah. But I feel like you have so much, your journey and your story, you have so much to share and to inspire other people that, I could see a real benefit to you getting your PhD and doing more teaching, maybe writing a book. Have you considered writing a book?
I have considered writing a book, and I actually thought earlier in life that I would, be an English teacher just because I love writing. And so it's one of the many facets of myself is to also to share my story, to help others. I was a part of teen pregnancy. That was me. And so it's to share an inspiring story for others, teen parents, that's not the end. You can do it and you can achieve great success.
Yes. Yes, I agree. My parents were both, they were 20 when I was born, 19 when they conceived me. And so I also had very young parents. And I think, when you're growing up with young parents, there's a benefit of that because they're full of energy and you kind of grow up together. And then, but maybe one of the penalties, and I think my parents would admit to this as well, is that they don't necessarily have the wisdom to be the kind of parents that they might be at a later age, but they do their best, and so there's.
We definitely agree, myself and my children's father, that it's we're full of energy now and we're ready for those grandkids. Well, I may not be ready, but when they come, we'll be ready for them. But it also is our start was very, very difficult. It was difficult. It was complicated, and trying to make it work. It's hard when you're that young.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And do you see your journey and your persistence and passion showing up in your children? Can you see that they've learned from you? And do you see those same sparks in them now?
Absolutely. And all three of my children, I see that the same thing. They definitely, what would my mom do? The mom did this, I could do it too. That's definitely, especially in my daughter, she's very rambunctious. She's my last one, so she definitely puts me to the test. But she's definitely wants a business and she wants to grow. My sons have big plans for themselves. So it's wonderful to see that they believe in that. And they believe they have that persistence. They've gone to college. They've done the things that they wanted to do and have gone through the difficult times and know that if their parents were successful at it, they would be too.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm curious, circling back to some of the businesses that you work with, one of the points that you make on your website is that, you're helping small businesses change the way that they look at their numbers. And can you tell us a little bit about that? What does that mean? And how do you aim to help them better understand their finances?
Sure. A lot of the times people will look at their numbers and just think this plus this equals this, or this minus this equals this. I help them see beyond that so that we start at the dream and go backwards. What is that dream? What's that service? What's that product? What is it that we want to do? And let's go backwards with that. I help them understand what sales are without being afraid. I help them invest in cost without being afraid as well. Helping them understand that not all cost is bad, that something you do have to spend money to make money and to invest wisely and to be able to look at your numbers and understand what you're investing in. I help them understand those. So you're removing the fear and building the confidence. So that's how I help them understand that story behind the numbers. What are your numbers telling you? And are you going in the direction that you want to go in?
That's so important. So in a way, it sounds like also psychology must be an important part of what you do, that you're having to deal a little bit with the psychological barriers that some of your customers may have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They say, it comes from your beliefs, how you grew up, what you believe in. That it stems from that, and it moves through there. The beliefs that you have either as a child or as a young adult, and how you were raised in regards to money, how confident or maybe ashamed you are of that, it goes right into your business, and that's how you run your business. So being able to take away that piece or understand why you feel the way that you do leads you to better decisions.
Yes, absolutely. So as we're talking, I have this impression. I mean, you do so much to support other people. You're helping your clients, you're taking care of your family. What are your techniques to take care of yourself? Do you have any practices, like self-care practices, that you do just to help maintain your own sense of balance?
I do. I love to journal. So it's something that's very near and dear to my heart. I've been doing it for years, since I was a little girl. Very much in love with journaling. Reading is a big passion of mine. Most of the time I just see all the books in my office. I had a lot more than that. Learning, reading, business books, but also books that, kind of take you away from the everyday of life. I'm Latina, so I love music and I love to dance. That's a part of me. It helps me take the stresses away.
Yes, absolutely. Well, good. I'm glad that you have those practices and those habits, because it's so important, especially when you're in a role of supporting other people and giving out a lot, to just take care of yourself. So, I'm very happy that you do that.
Thank you. I definitely feel it's important. And I also tell my own business owners that come to me, it's not just all about business, because if you're stressed and anxious and overwhelmed and you're not taking care of yourself, you're really not going to be the best business owner you can be.
Yes, it's so true. It's a cliche, but I think it's so true that you don't always want to work harder. You want to work smarter. And I think as a small business owner, which I am as well, it's easy to just say, oh, if I just grind through 3 more hours this evening and not go to the gym, I can get more done. And that's not always the right way to think about things.
Absolutely. Running that hamster wheel is not it. I mean, and it happens every now and then, right? We are blessed to have successful businesses, and there are times where you just don't have you have to go the extra mile. But to make that a habit, it's only detrimental to you as a business owner, and also to the people that you take care of. If, your spouse, your partner, your children, everyone kind of suffers when you're running the business like that.
Yes, absolutely. I'm curious to know, so it seems like you're inspirational to a number of people, and I can see why you are inspirational. Are there people that inspire you, who you follow and who you take inspiration from?
Who I follow and who inspires me is very personal to me. My grandmother and my mom are 2 people who are no longer with me, but have shown me how to be a strong woman, how to love, how to have compassion, how to have empathy, all the things that make me who I am, how to have persistence, to feel empowered. They're the ones that showed it to me. I have them in my heart every single day, and they are the reason why I am who I am.
Yes, I think that's so powerful, because there are certainly plenty of people who write wonderful books and give terrific talks, and people who I follow and give me inspiration. But I think that when it comes from your own family, it's so rich, because you have daily contact with them, and it's a closer bond that you have to get that inspiration, and then you can apply that to other aspects of your business and your personal life.
Yes. There's nothing more bittersweet than to make people who you feel empowered by, and they are the reason why you do the things you do, to know that they're proud of you.
Yes. And you mentioned that your mother and grandmother are no longer with us, and I'm sorry for that. Did your mom live long enough to see your success and to see what you've created?
Unfortunately, she did not. My mom passed away from early onset Alzheimer's at the age of
Okay.
57. So
Sorry.
she was quite young when she passed away. So she got the fortune, or I got the fortune of having her be at my graduation. However, she didn't probably recognize what was really happening due to the disease that she had. However, she was physically there to see me graduate with my degree. But through my business, unfortunately, she was not able to witness that.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry that happened to her and to your family, but I am glad that she was there to be there and at least have that physical presence is and that's meaningful for you as well.
Yes, it was. Well, it's amazing because I have pictures. So I have her, and then I have my daughter, who was, very, very young at the time. So it was another one that was like there, but didn't remember that she was there. But they were part of, the success of what I was achieving that day, and that meant the world to me.
Yes. And are you part of community groups? Like I can just imagine that you would be a wonderful speaker to go out and talk. Like you teach at the college, but do you also go out and give talks to women's groups and to groups of entrepreneurs to share this with them as well?
I have not. Interestingly enough, that's coming up more often where people would love to hear me speak and come out and tell my story. It's something that I definitely want to venture into, but I have yet to do so.
Yeah, it's and it takes time to build all of that. But I just think you would be fantastic at sharing that and inspiring women. Certainly I live in San Diego, so we have a lot of different groups of entrepreneurs and women entrepreneur groups. So, I could definitely see a benefit of that.
I definitely hope to make that stage. Like I said, I'm all for, empowering another woman, making them see that they can do it too as well. If I can, you can.
Yes. Yes. Well, and it's so, it's also really wonderful that your family is supportive of that. Like in any situation, sometimes our partners may be more or less supportive of what we want to do. And so it sounds like you have a family that's just very supportive of your dreams and pursuing your passion. And so I think that's fantastic.
Definitely. My partner and my children are very, very supportive. And it goes beyond, like I have aunts and uncles and cousins, you know what I mean? It's a very loving and rich family who support me and love to see me succeed.
Yes, absolutely. Now I'm curious, I love the name of your company, Balance Financial Solutions. And I wonder if you can tell us a little bit about the thought that went into that name, because that's
Sure.
To me, it's a very meaningful name.
So balance, see with me, I believe in just having balance. It's not just with your business, but with everything in your life. You should be balanced and keyed in. So that's where that came from. Financial, obviously, because of the accounting aspect. Solutions is because that's what I provide. I provide solutions to make your life better in business. And so, but balance is really keyed in there because I feel like without that, nothing really works. You have to have an even balance.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And do you have a niche with your clients? Like, do you serve small business owners across the spectrum of types of businesses, or do you specialize in a particular type of business?
I don't specialize in a type. I've been blessed and fortunate enough to have many different types of businesses, primarily service-based businesses, but I have a couple of brick and mortar. But I've been blessed to be all over the map as far as businesses types are concerned. Also all over the United States, even one in Puerto Rico. So it was nice to have one there. But I have a lot of different ones.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that must be so interesting. And do you have like a kernel of wisdom that you share with some of your clients to encourage their own persistence? Like if someone comes to you and they have a dream, they have their why, but maybe they're lacking that inner resolve to persist and get it done. Do you have advice that you give to them or that you would give to anybody to follow their dreams and really try to make it happen?
My advice is, why are we doing this? First, figure out your why. Why are you doing? What's going to drive you to be persistent, because it's easy to come up with something in our minds. It's difficult to make it come true. And it takes a lot of hard work, as we all know. So for me, hanging on to that why and your purpose, it's what's going to get you to the end, even when it's really hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. I saw a wonderful quote that it says that the dream is the spark, but persistence is the fire that makes it happen. And you really have to have that to push through and make it happen.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's great. And do you, I think that you must have some very grateful clients. And so are there people that you keep in contact with over time that you look back and you say, okay, 10 years ago when I first opened, I worked with this person, and here's what we were working on, and here's where they have come to. And are there any stories that you have about people who've really accomplished their dreams?
I have seen, I have clients that have started as solopreneurs, as one person many years ago when I first started, and now have firms of their own, multiple employees. They have multiple people that work there. They have grown. So it's amazing. And I love to be part of that journey. I have clients who started very, very small, and now they're closing $500,000 contracts. So it's beautiful to be a part of that journey with them.
Yes. Yes. How satisfying. And I'm sure that you actually did contribute very meaningfully to their success and to their growth. So that's, what a wonderful legacy to be building.
Yes.
To do that.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, as we come to the end of our time, and this has gone so quickly, I feel like I could ask you questions all day. I have so many questions, and
I know it always goes by so fast.
Yes. Yes. But before we sign off, can you tell people, please, how they can connect with you? If they would like to work with you or talk with you more about your journey, how can they find you?
Absolutely. The easiest and quickest way to find me is on my website. Head over to www.balancefinancial.solutions with an S at the end. I also have my Instagram account, which is balance_financial. And then you can email me at jocelyn@balancefinancial.solutions.
Okay. Wonderful. That's great. And we'll also make sure that that's in the notes of the show so that people can find you as well.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for being here and sharing your story. And I'm coming away inspired. So I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the time. It was very exciting, and I love sharing my story. So thank you for giving me the platform to do so.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. And I'll be following you. I'm going to look you up on Instagram and follow you.
Same,
So.
Of course.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, I'm so truly inspired by Joselyn's story and her persistence and passion. That's pretty amazing. I do end every show with a quote about persistence, and I feel like this one fits beautifully with our conversation today. This is from Justin Sachs, who said, "If we look at those who are the most successful in the world, persistence is the common denominator." And I think that's really true. And I think that underpins Joselyn's story, where she's been persistent and encourages that in her clients as well. So I think that's a perfect thought to end the show on. If you'd like to reach me, I would love to hear from you. I'm open to suggestions about guests, to feedback about the show, any comments that you have. You can find me on my website. It's ringthing.com. My email is kimberly@ringthing.com. And we're here on the show every other Tuesday at 12 o'clock Pacific time. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much.
USA Global TV and Radio, home of the YouTube Silver Creator Award, proudly presents just the thing for your ring. Introducing the patented Ring Thing. Your premium personal ring holder to keep your ring safe, nearby, and avoid loss.
The Ring Thing just got smarter. Add your logo and an NFC tag that opens to your website with one tap. Waterproof, inner padding, and now a forever business card.
just the thing for your ring. Scan the QR code seen here to learn more about RingThing or place your order. Follow RingThing on Instagram at ring_thing_ or go to our website ringthing.com.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions. Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV.